Hey, good morning, friends. Scott Brookins here. Hope you're having a great day and a great week. I've been out of touch with you for a few days because I was traveling. My wife and I were doing ministry work in Arizona and had a great time there. And so it's great to be back with you. I hope you like and share this message along with others. My prayer is always that wherever I speak or a message is given, that at least one person will be impacted and come closer to God, and I pray that for you this morning. So, the title of this message this morning is I Want It Now. And do you remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from probably 1970, 71 ish? Gene Wilder was Willy Wonka. It's one of my favorite movies. I never saw it when I was younger as a kid. I was probably trying to be too much of a John Wayne fan and so forth. But boy, as an adult, I probably watch it once a year, and I love Gene Wilder's character and the way he portrayed and all the lines that were written. So much time, so little to do. No, wait, reverse that. And just on and on. And there's one of the little girls in there, Veruca, I think was her name, and she was so selfish, right? Everything she wanted was now, and for her. And so that line is, I want it now, And of course, her daddy was trying to give her everything and spoil her. But how many times do we go through our days and say the same thing? Or that maybe we go through complaining about things, that we want it now. Do we complain when things don't go our way, our way, or things that we're trying to do, or things we think should happen in our lives or in certain circumstances, and they don't go exactly the way we planned or thought out, and then we get mad or we start complaining, right? Do you do that? I do. I'm guilty of that. I've learning to get better, but it's still a struggle because that's who we are. I mean, think about it. This morning I reheated a cup of coffee, and where do you think I reheated that? In a microwave oven, right? And sometimes, do you get impatient with a microwave? You set it on 10, 20 seconds to reheat a cup of coffee or something you're eating. And boy, that's the slowest 10 or 20 seconds it seems like in the world, right? But do you remember not having a microwave oven or being in places where there is not a microwave oven? We can. And what did people do back then? They dealt with it. They warmed things up the way they did, or in an oven, and it took longer. Or what about when you use the internet? Do you complain about how slow your connection to the internet is? Oh, I do this, and I try to remember then, 15 years ago or so when the connection was dial up, right? It was through the phone line, and it was really, really slow compared to today, and it was very expensive. But we're in a microwave society, right? We want it now, right? And so we want everything to be quick and easy and our way, right? What was that McDonald's that one of their slogans was you can have it your way. Well, that's what we want in all parts of our life. Well, last week, as I said, we traveled, and the reason this message came to mind was Monday we were coming back, and we were flying from Phoenix to Denver, but we had a stopover in Salt Lake City. So 2 short hour flights, and then driving back home. And so our first flight, we'd got up at 4:30 to drive up to Phoenix, turn in our rental car, and then wait around for our flight. And it was late coming in. And so the connection we had in Salt Lake City was 30 minutes between touchdown and takeoff. 30 minutes in a different terminal. I mean, they're kind of close, didn't have to, but not next door, right? And so our first flight was late coming in, and you start to get a little anxious and nervous and mad and complaining, and there's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is do our best. If we make it, we make it. If not, we'll get another flight, right? And so instead of getting on that first flight and being worried, oh gosh, are we going to make this connection? I slept. Okay. I mean, I'm not doing that saying that to brag about myself. I was able to just put it aside because there's nothing I could do about it. I wasn't flying the plane. I couldn't put the metal down any, the pedal to the metal down any faster. It was just get there. And so then we landed and we were in seat 23 or 24. And so everyone else is getting off first, because everyone jumps up, they start getting their bags, then you just wait as one by one we leave. And so the clock is ticking. We're down to 20 minutes before our next flight takes off. And by the time we got off the plane, we had 15 minutes. And so Laura and I start to run, kind of, walk as fast as we could. And I ran ahead. We get to the next terminal and we got like 5 minutes to get down. And wouldn't you know it, our gate is all the way down the terminal, gate 13, I think it was. And so I told Laura, I'm just going to try to make it. And so we rushed down there. And no one is around. The gate's still open. The guy's waiting there. And I'm yelling, kind of waving to him, give him our names. And we get on to we're the last ones on the flight. Whew, And so then we could relax. And so as we go through life, we need to learn to relax, right? We need to learn to control what we can control and let the rest kind of take its own course. And sometimes that's very difficult because we could be going through periods in our life where it's kind of a waiting period, right? Maybe a waiting period for health reasons or financial reasons or moving or jobs or family and relationships. And sometimes we need to just relax, control what we can control, and then let God handle the rest. And so I want to leave you with a verse out of the book of Psalms. Psalm 37, verse 7. This is from the King David when he wrote this. It says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." So be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. And some of the other translations I looked up, write it a little bit differently, the translation. And so here's one way. It says, "Be still in the presence of the Lord." Or I like this, "Rest in the Lord." Be silent before the Lord. Be patient and wait for the Lord to act. I like that one. So be patient. Oh, man, we need patience, right? I need patience every day. Be patient and wait for the Lord to act. And then in the Message Bible, it says, "Quiet down before God. Be prayerful before him." So any of those versions, those translations are telling us to chill out, calm down, rest in the Lord, be patient for him, be prayerful towards him, and wait for him to act. And don't complain, don't get upset, don't be anxious and nervous. Take some time to relax and reflect and trust that God has you in his hands and he knows what you're going through and he's there with you. And so I hope you'll take this to heart. I hope you'll put it into practice as I will today and in the future. And I hope you'll like and share this message and go have an amazing day and inspire others to do the same. God bless.